the different Facebook pages. They were started by different people. And so they all have different kind of odd names, but those are the ones that they have. There's not one currently for preschool, but that's all the ones I've been able to find and all the ones that I follow. They have really good ideas. Teachers are making lessons and they're sharing it. And so it's a great place to grab something because people are taking, this morning I saw like 3 people have posted morning meetings and said, this is what I'm doing for morning meeting. Make sure you can copy it. Or I've adapted this story. You can copy it and use it for your class. So, so that's about it for the slides. I want to see what people's questions are. And we're going to really just do this more as a question and answer period. So what's in the chat?
So there's a couple of things. Sandy, if you could, people need access to the slide deck. I'm not sure. Oh, never mind. And Bertha's here taking notes for you, so you can not worry about that.
Okay. If people don't have specific questions, let me look and see who's in there right now. So I've been following a lot on all the Facebook sites and all the different questions that have been coming up. And it seems to be, and a couple of teachers that I've worked with so far this week, and I'll just sort of talk as we're waiting for more questions to come through. There's been a lot of talk about Google Classroom versus just signing into Student View. And it really depends how you're running your classroom. It's better to do the profiles and have them log into Student View through Clever, because then it's collecting all the data. But there are some things that you can't see in Student View, like News to You. And I would suggest that either you record yourself in a Google Hangout with just you and share it to them, or you do some live sessions, maybe for morning meeting, maybe for reading News to You. But for News to You in particular, you need to save it as a PDF and share it to your Google Classroom. But if your students don't know how to use Google Classroom and they also don't know how to go to the unique student view, you're going to have to walk them through it with parents. And parents are going to need to be helping their students. There's no way around it for ESN. Put your questions in the go ahead.
There was one question about, everything's all set up, but finding it a little bit difficult to individualize the program.
You shouldn't need to individualize it because there's a level 1 student, a level 2 student, and a level 3 student, and it's already individualized for them. You just have to assign them what level they are.
Once you do profiles, the levels, it will individualize to that level. Then what you're going to do is you're going to decide what lessons you want them to see. That's how you're going to individualize it for particular students. Not every student is going to need to do money and time and reading. You're going to decide which lessons you want them to see. But as far as individualizing it for their level, you do that by doing the profiles.
I see Julia Marshall's question. How do we do that if we need an interpreter? I was in another chat the other day and they said you go through an interpreter the same way you would for the IEP process. I believe that's correct.
I can jump in on that.
Sure.
We emailed Julia. Did you get the email that had all of the link to interpreters during the distance learning period of time? We have a Google form where you can request an interpreter to either help you with an IEP meeting or to make a parent contact. Did you get that one? It goes to Perla Ponce, who's processing them similarly. Yeah, so just email the interpreter and the interpreter will work with you to try and make that phone call. That's the avenue that you'd go for that support.
Thanks, Rachel. Mm-hmm. I also saw that they were recommending for younger students K2, K3 to use Seesaw, and I understand that there's a translation within that if people are using that at their school sites. Different principals are directing people to use different things.
I have a couple of my elementary school teachers using Seesaw, and there's one Seesaw thing at 11:30. So I think maybe between doing the Seesaw thing at 11:30 and checking with my teachers, I can see how they're translating for any students in their class that need translating.
If you can't get to the Seesaw professional developments, they've all been recorded. All of the PD sessions up through Wednesday are on the e-learning website, and the rest will be uploaded this weekend. Darcy and Lori are dancing as fast as they can. And I put a link in Clever also, just I know we're throwing lots of tech at everybody, so there's a link to the PD and Clever so people can go and get there quick.
So there's a lot of questions as to what is better, Seesaw or Google Classroom. There's also Remind, and people have been talking about Class Dojo. It's really a comfort level, which one you like. It's the same thing. The question keeps coming up, what's better, Zoom or Google Hangout Meet? And I told a couple teachers this week, try both and see what you like better. Some people say, I really love Google Hangout Meet, and some people say, I really love Zoom. It's all a little bit personal preference of what you find ease of use. And there's, like Francie said, there's all the videos on e-learning, how to do all of those things.
And there are pieces of it that you can do in PDF and post. You know, you have materials in Core, you have materials, you have books in your News to You library in Unique. So, and you can't do an iDoc as a whole class. I mean, the students can go in and do their own iDoc if they know how to log in, if you've done profiles and whatnot, but you can't do it and share it on your computer. Students aren't going to be able to hit it and actually activate it because you're going to be sharing your screen. So you can walk through how to do iDocs, but you should hopefully have been doing that in your classrooms already.
But if you're teaching a lesson via Zoom, then you can do that. But I'm going to show you something else. I was just looking at that. So one thing that there's also been a lot of talk about is there's a lot of things with free for now versus what we pay for. What we pay for is the Unique and the News to You and the Symbol Sticks. They've opened up other things, including some training materials that usually we pay for. We're really not pushing things that are free for now, but the L3, which is in there, and I'll show you, it's games. And if it buys parents 10 minutes where a kid is doing an academic game by themselves, it might be worth assigning some of those games for free time or just other times, because parents are also doing meetings and also have a lot of stuff going on. So if you want me to show you that, I could show you that, even though you need to know that we're not going to have it next year. If anyone wants to see that, they can contact me offline, or if enough people want me to show it to them, I can do that now, but I don't see that much interest in the chat.
Maybe you just show them where the professional development is. And I was trying to record this and it dropped me twice. So there's going to be some little segments of recording. But if you showed them how to maybe navigate to the professional development area and access the foundations and the essentials, that might be a good thing to have recorded.
They're actually extending, everybody has foundations and they've extended essentials for people now as well.
Till July, right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and go to Unique. And when I share my screen, I can't see the chat. So you guys are going to have to tell me. I guess if I do a window, I can. I'll do my entire screen. Okay. So when you log into your Unique, this is what you see. I'm logged in as a teacher right now. And right now, all these things you have. I wouldn't really recommend going to Positivity. It's kind of hard to do at home, but the top line are things that we have all the time. And the professional development, they've opened up a lot for free. And then that's the L3, which are games. So if you click on the professional development, which is what Sandy was just asking me to show. I don't know why it's not opening. Hold on. I wonder if it's not.
See, I just access it. I just access it from the Hamburg. No, there you go.
Okay. Well, anyways, it's the second and third slide that I showed at the beginning, but L3 just showed up too. So maybe their website's running slowly today, because it seems that, yeah, that's the hamburger, which Mary was just talking about too. I don't know what's going on right now with Unique. It's just being slow. So one thing that I learned, there's 140 games, and if you go to the search bar at the top, but you don't search for anything, and it's just running really slow. It'll come up with a bunch of subcategories. Like if you want to give them something on clocks or colors, or if you want to search by age group, right? And if you want to preview and see what something looks like as a teacher, you could click on it. And then at the top, it says preview, and you can actually try a game before you assign it to a student. So that's just something, you know, for now that's kind of fun and different. And the first time that you load a game, it takes a little bit longer. But then let me see if I can get the professional development to work now.
So Karen, before you log off of sharing your screen, can you show people how to access the help? Because I've had a couple teachers email me with questions, but they're trying to do something and it's not working. I could take that question and send it to News to You, but it's easier if the teacher does. So can you show them up under Christine's login name?
Yeah, hold on. Let me wait for Unique to open.
Right, but before you log off of sharing your screen, will you show them that? So there's places to go where you can ask for help and support. Yeah, yeah.
If you just click under your name, you can go to help and support.
If teachers email News to You and ask them those questions, or look for links to direct questions there, you're going to get an answer a lot faster than if you go through me or Karen. We can walk you through things that we know, but if it's I don't have access to a classroom since I'm not a teacher. I only can see it if I log into your account. So when you're asking me, I set up my students and I'm getting duplicate assignments, I'm not going to know what it is because that's not happening to me because I'm not putting in students. So it's easier sometimes for you guys to ask News to You directly. But feel free to
on the bottom
feel free to CC me. I've had different teachers CC me in the email to News to You. That way I know what questions are, what kind of questions are out there, and I can help other teachers who have the same questions.
Their live chat is also very good. I've done that in person, but there's also this help at the bottom, and it gives you suggestions kind of based on what page you're on, and then you can also do contact there.
Right. And just, I think it was newstoyou.com. If you just go to newstoyou.com, and you can ask all kinds of questions.
And another thing that we did not put in the slideshow that we shared at many of our trainings, and we'll see when this page loads. I don't know why it's being so slow today. I don't know if it's my house or them. Is this suggested monthly plan. Suggested monthly plan does not change every month. It's the same every month. And it gives you like lesson 1, lesson 2, because for News to You, for Unique, sorry, lesson 1 is always a story. Lesson 2 is always comprehension. It's different, some of the levels, like 15 for high school is always vocabulary. So this is the suggested monthly plan if you were in school. Of course, this would be scaled back for remote learning, but it could definitely give you some idea and some structure. Some teachers I was working with this week were saying, like, what should they tell parents? How should they structure their day? I would have envisioned something sort of like, maybe you do some core materials in the morning where they're doing some grooming, and then they're doing a chore, and then they're having breakfast, and then maybe you're doing something live through Zoom or Google Hangout Meet, and then you're assigning some things to Student View and saying, do some Go Noodle throughout your day. I mean, you're just kind of suggesting some things to hit on the different academic topics. I don't know what's in the chat or if there's anything I should show while I'm in Unique still.
I've been meeting and setting up meetings with a couple of my sites who have more than one ESN classroom per site, and we're doing some group Google Hangout meets, trying to just talk about how to integrate different pieces of it into their day, and does it need to be daily, or do you assign a book, or, how many of the teachers already have students logged in and profiled and such, so how many are they doing whole class wise, and how many are they just sending to students? Plus, I still have ESN teachers going back to their schools today to pull out their Chromebooks because a lot of Chromebooks didn't go home with students. So the kids can log in.
Another great thing that Mary mentioned, so if you click on the hamburger on the side, everything comes up. Here's the library. The library has all kinds of things. So you could individualize some things. If you have a student that's really into animals, you could search for animals in the library and just assign them five independent reading books to look at with their family for that, right? And it tells you the level of the book. It tells you the book. You could search by whatever. So here, I'll do animals. And then you could assign it directly to the students.
Right.
You could have a book
they have
together.
profiles.
Right. But everyone's going to need to have profiles.
Right.
That's the number one thing.
Right.
So while I'm here, is there anything else that I should be showing or any questions in the chat?
No, but I'm thinking of posting the slides to our Google Classroom. So I didn't know if sharing that would be worthwhile, just to show them that there's previous resources, and we'll try and keep that alive and dynamic if possible.
Sure. And also, if teachers are creating things and they want to share it, our Google Classroom is a great place to share. In the past, we've showed art projects from different classrooms.
Right.
So this would be a really great way to share with other teachers so that we're not all creating the same thing. Right. Also, there's, science, social studies. Unique is really a full curriculum. It has every subject in it. The only thing you'd probably need to supplement a little bit is a little bit of PE with just some online videos of, Go Noodle or something like that.
And I was trying to share with a couple of our AAC people who were going to send home either an art activity or a cooking activity. I was like, do it as a whole family. There's not a reason why, if there's siblings in the house, that you guys can't do the art activity or a cooking activity. And at least it makes it more interactive and more meaningful instead of, just student work. So it was a way to kind of bring everybody in.
Right. And they could be doing anything around the house. If they're setting the table, they're counting the forks. I mean, all of that's academic. They can just weave it throughout their day with everything else that they're doing. Right.
You've got sorting laundry for, sorting colors and sizes and shapes.
And I'm trying to look at the questions
What class
now.
code is not valid?
Maybe our unique one? I don't know. Are there any other questions right now?
I'm trying to see.
I think that you're already in that classroom if you came to a training. So I can look again, but I was just posting.
I believe we've invited every ESN teacher to that class. And
oh my God, yes.
If you have not answered, we've invited you several times. So if you are an ESN teacher, chances are you're probably already in there. I guess there's a question from before. Would you recommend Remind, Seesaw, Zoom for a student who is blind? They're really different things. Remind is really more of a way to communicate. It's like text reminders for parents or students. It depends what age and how much the parent's involved, right? Seesaw does have videos embedded. So if a teacher could share a video where they could listen to it, and same with Zoom. A teacher could also do Google Hangout Meet where they're recording themselves or meeting and the student can be listening. I guess I would need to know more about what your actual question is and what you're looking for Catherine Lawrence.
So the class code was a different one, so I just posted the new one. But again, any ESN teacher who's attended any workshop is already in that classroom.
I took that class code off the slide for this afternoon, so you probably have to fix that slide.
Okay.
Just a side note. Okay, Julia Marshall says, I need to attach a Symbol Sticks board to Google Classroom so that it is viewed in landscape view. It usually comes up with portrait view.
That's something that she saved it as a PDF and then she tried to put it into her classroom. So it's just coming up incorrectly.
Right. Okay, so Mary will work with you on that. I think when you save it as a PDF, you could change
orientation.
If it's portrait or landscape, yeah. Do people know how to save something from News to You or unique as a PDF and share it to your Google Classroom? Is that something people want to know, how to save things as a PDF and not save the whole thing, but certain pages? Do you want me to walk you through that? I don't see anyone really responding.
I'm actually, again,
Yes,
as I'm
please.
meeting with
Okay.
individual teachers, I'm doing that with some of them as well. So sometimes it's easier to have it, especially since we're recording. Maybe that's something that we do a small recording of and put that in our classroom as well.
I'll do it now, just since she's asking.
Okay. I didn't see who asked. Oh, hey, Jane.
I'm going to go to, I'll go back home just to kind of show people from the start. So, oh, it doesn't take me all the way home. Sorry. I'm going to go to News to You, since that does not go to.
Right.
And we'll go to the current issues.
Since there's no parent portal, you can only access it by PDF or by the teacher account.
So when you're in News to You and you see last week's and this week's event, and it says download PDF downloads, if you click on that, and then you click what level you want. The newspapers come in 4 different levels, and text only is really mostly for, like, if you're translating it into Braille, you don't really want that unless you're doing that, and that's a different thing. So let's say she was talking about the communication board for the story. So let's do something with more pages so that we can
do the worksheets.
Okay, I'll do the worksheets.
And then just pull out 2 pages.
So here's the worksheet, and you see how the worksheet comes in many levels. So there's the 1 level, and that's a level 3 student because they're actually filling in the blank. And then you have the more the icons would be a level 1 student. So let's say I want to send home this page, and it's page number, if you sort of hover over it, it tells you page number 4 out of 69. So I'm going to go to print. And I could go here where you say destination. If you're at your school, you're usually doing your printer, but you could save it as your straight to your Google Drive, and then you can share it to Classroom, or you could save it as a PDF, whichever way you're sort of more comfortable. So if you save it as a PDF, it comes like that. And you don't want to do all pages. We're going to custom, and we're going to do page 4 or 4 through 7. And then you save it, and that's going to ask you where you want to save it to because it's a PDF. If you're doing it as a Google Drive, it's just going to go straight to your Google Drive. The one thing when you save it to your Google Drive is same thing. You need to do custom, and you need to do what pages. We're not going to do all those pages. We're going to do 4 through 7. When it goes to Google Drive, you're going to need to rename it because it's not going to, it's going to have a weird name. So you just hit save.
You're renaming it on your, and when you're saving it as a PDF as well. So both ways, you're going to call it, what comes next, or matching, or whatever the name of it is.
Right. And I usually go to my recent. So this is the article on stress awareness. And right now it's called stress awareness worksheets. But if it's 49 worksheets and you're downloading different collections for different students, level 1, level 2, level 3 students, you want to rename it. So to rename it, you click on it, you go to rename, and maybe you call it the date too, or something, 3.2020, whatever, News to You. And then you just rename it, right? So that's how you do that. So let me see if there's more questions.
We're actually
we're out of time.
So
please contact us if you have more questions. A lot of have cell phone numbers for me or Mary, or emails. Our emails are on that first slide. We're here to help you. We will be around some next week. Thank you, Francie, for moderating the chat. And sorry we didn't record the beginning of this, but please reach out to us with questions.
And I think also I just wanted to say that we do see quite a few ESN teachers not in this group. So if you are working with someone, make sure that they know about the slides that are available and that they can contact for help. We can even do little meets like this and walk them through some of the things. So it's a good time to ask for help.
Yeah, and really be a great way to do some collaboration with other teachers, other ESN teachers at your same level.
Right.
All right. Thank you. We're going to stop recording and log off.
You bet, Marilyn. Yep. All right. Thanks, guys.
I'll stop right now. Talk to you guys later.
Do we need to save that chat? No.
Thanks, Bertha. Thanks, Francie.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Julia.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for your help, everybody.
Yep.